Hello there you, and welcome to a chaos horde of nurgle who are about to go head-to-head with the Imperium of Man and a few sprinklings of Space Marines. However, there's only one slight small problem. The high ground that they're about to fight over is already occupied by the Orks. Our green-skinned friends don't want to give up their hill without a fight, and thus a three-way battle is about to ensue. As always, if you do enjoy this content, do leave a like and consider subscribing, as that's the best way to support the channel. Now, let's get on with the slaughter. Here we go then, let the massacre begin. The Orks in the center, the Chaos on the left, and the Imperium on the right. Who will come out on top? We can already see the Orks here surging forward off the top of the hill. Of course they're going to leave the high ground straight away, getting right into melee combat here with the Imperium of Man. Space Marines making their way to the front line, trying to help out as best as they can, and already a cascade of Imperial corpses is rolling down the hill. That's right, chaps, go on, get in there. Your magnificent Emperor demands sacrifice. Sacrifice the Orks are all too willing to help them make as they come surging down here through the mountain. Let's scoot over to the other side. You already see Ork gunners here lining up, laying down the Daka. We have got a few Death Corps of Krieg down there in the Imperium lines who are also returning fire. Let's go over here to the Chaos lines who are trying to surge up the mountain here, taking heavy firepower from the Daka guns in the background. See that they've got Winged Furies on the front line. We've got Marauders. We've also got a few Chaos Warriors thrown into the mix as well. So the Orks have really got a pretty bad time here, being pincered between these two armies. However, like we said, their guns are holding the high ground, allowing them to just absolutely rail on both sides, on both armies. Of course, as well, the Orks are the superior melee fighters here. Poor Imperium of Man pouring troops in. Look at this. Oh, the surge of Orks coming right down the hill. However, every now and then they're going to come across a Space Marine, and that is going to halt the Ork advance. As you can see here, already the Orks now struggling to push. Few Space Marines making their way to the front line, and little by little the Imperium and the Chaos lines are also getting closer and closer as both of them here start to try and outflank the Orks. They're also going to meet each other, and there we have the first official clash here between the Chaos and the Imperium, with the Daka in the background just looking at them both going, all right then. That's some easy target practice for the Orks at the moment, whose front line is still holding despite this pincer assault that's going on them. Look at this, they are actually pushing the Chaos back somewhere. They're taking heavy losses, but they're also inflicting maximum losses here at the moment, with them actually being well ahead in terms of the kill counter. So let's have a quick look. Oh, it looks like the Imperium of Man over here managed to get a few units to come around. Yeah, there we go. They've come up the side of that hill here and are flanking now, trying to establish a foothold on the top of the hill. The rest of the poor Imperium trying to push up these narrow little alleyways. Now, it does look like a lot of the Orks have actually been killed on the front lines here. That Death Corps firepower really adding into it. Yet the Orks are still holding the high ground. Their gunners still laying down the smackdown into the Imperial lines. Even though they have cracked through at the front line of Orks here, they're still not able to push up realistically with any concerted effort just yet. Though, as I say that, they literally push up with a concerted effort. That's very typical, isn't it? So we have still got this contingent of Orks actually down here, fighting on the lower plateau. They are getting surrounded though, but these are Storm Boys, so they're going to be fighting out for quite a while. You see that the Imperial lines are getting distracted ever so slightly. There's this fight between the Chaos and the Imperium, while the Orks are still charging forward. Look at the bodies the Orks are leaving behind. Yeah, Orks very, very strong in melee combat here, easily able to rip any of these opponents apart, including the Space Marines, realistically. The Orks can tear off a Space Marine arm or leg quite easily. You can see it at the Imperium of Man now, really pushing hard, trying to capture this high ground before the Chaos can. The Chaos here, though, they've also making it a bid for the high ground. The Imperium trying to cut them off, stop them reinforcements coming up. We have still got Orks in the background. All the gunners still laying down Daka, trying to keep the Imperials back also. We're advancing with Space Marines and conscripts here, but the Orks find themselves with nowhere to go now. Their backs up against the cliff faces here, and Chaos right below them. Chaos is also pushing its forces around the flank, trying to outclass the gunners here, and that's exactly what they're doing. They've managed to find a little entrance here. Despite the Imperials trying to hold them back, the Imperials have largely been killed over there. So now they're going after the Ork gunners. Imperium man still going after these guys over here. Again, a bunch of Storm Boys holding the top of the hill, giving the Imperium a real run for the money. Let's go over to the Chaos side. How are we actually doing over here, chaps? Okay, so it actually looks like the Chaos now breaking through some of the front line of the Orks there, actually starting to encircle Ork lines. Chaos here focusing on capturing the lower plateau, it seems, while the Imperium man rushes for the top of the hill. Who will it work out for, though? That's what I have to wonder. You can see we've got lots of renegade gunners now pouring up this section, right into them Ork gunners. We've got this lovely little body pile that's starting to form as well. But yeah, the Orks are slowly getting surrounded here. With only 3,000 of them remaining, it's pretty tough situation. Most of them seem to be in gunner form as well at the moment. With the Chaos here and the Imperium now going head to head on the plateau, vying for its control. We still do have this group of Ork gunners over here, which I'm absolutely amazed these guys are still alive. They're actually focusing on a single Space Marine. They just took him down as well. Oh my god. Impressive work there from the gunners. It did take about 1,000 of them all shooting at the same Space Marine. But we have got this Chaos flank now, right into the Imperium. The Imperials here, now distracted with them, are also getting gunned down by the Orks. The Orks trying to keep this hilltop all to themselves. So yeah, it does appear then that the only Orks remaining on the lower plateau are these few gunners here, which are quickly being picked off by Chaos. Because Chaos has just completely surrounded these poor chaps. There we go. They're the last remaining ones. Have we got any others over here? Did we still have that group that was alive, or did they all die? No, I think they all died. So yeah, it does look like then that the only remaining Orks left are the gunners up here, who are currently being charged from both sides. Good luck to them, quite frankly, because them Imperials are about to come storming down this hill right into them. And they've been laying the smackdown on these Imperials for quite a while, and it looks like the last remaining group of Orks that were holding out the hill here have also died. More and more Chaos, though, pouring into this flank, trying to secure the middle section of this hill. Chaos now having completely secured the lower plateau. There is a few Imperials who are just over this side, but yeah, let's face it, there's not that many of them. The Chaos are still working their troops up here. More conscripts are being poured into the breach to try and stop this Chaos advance, who are trying to wrap their tendrils around and possibly even encircle the Imperials, who've now captured most of the top of the hill. See over here, a lot of the Imperials surging forward, trying to meet Chaos, but unfortunately Chaos are just superior to the conscripts in melee combat. So the Imperials really need to rely on the Space Marines, on the Death Corps, and then Lehman Russies for the fire superiority here, because their melee troops are just nowhere near as good as the Chaoses. The Chaos Warriors and Marauders are far superior, but what they do have is weight of numbers, and they have largely secured this plateau. Now, it'd be interesting to see the Imperials to use this flank themselves to come right down here and attack the rear army of the Chaos, because you can see these renegades are getting lit up every now and then by Imperial tanks who are just raining down fire on them. They are making advances towards the top of the hill. They are thinning out this Imperial Guard line quite rapidly. Looks like there might be a break here unless the Imperials can get reinforcements up here. Now, this is where we have the Death Corps. Look at these boys, laying that firepower down right into them Chaos. Chaos trying to, like I said, outflank the Imperials, but the firepower is the only thing keeping the Imperials in the game at the moment. Orks have been completely eradicated, but are still somehow getting kills. Don't know how that one's working out. I think the game's bugged. It's actually quite even between the Imperials and Chaos at the moment, with neither side really having a mega advantage in terms of kills. Both basically 1,000 kills apart. Now, Chaos does have slightly more troops remaining, but how that will play out in the long run, considering we do have Space Marines here and we still have tanks left alive, is going to be a different story. That gap is quickly closing. The Imperials now increasing the kill ratio very quickly. But I do think this front line is going to fall here, and Chaos might actually capture the middle of the hill. And they're doing a good job at the moment. They've got plenty of reinforcements on top of the hill that they're now pumping down into them into the rear lines. Nope, not. It's the front line. This is the rear line. I'm getting myself confused. The Death Corps over here slowly moving up now that they've actually managed to clear out the flank. All the Chaos on this side now have been killed, unfortunately. We have got a few left over here trying to push this side, but the Imperials now outnumber the Chaos ever so slightly, who've captured this middle ground of the hill. Imperials still holding it out firm, trying to keep them away from that top side here, where again a lot of the gunners are now situated. We've got a couple of Lehman Russes up here also, so the Imperials really want to keep this area. Now they have got this flank going for them. As I said earlier, they did actually manage to push down this flank, and that's going to distract some of the Chaos now, really changing their direction of attack path. Noticing that Imperials are on the flank, they come surging forward. Yeah, look at that tank fire though. We literally got Lehman Russes sat up here, just leveling it into that line. Look at that, they've got such a clear view. That is really nice, and all these corpses, man, just piled up all over the top of the mountain here. Fantastic fight so far. We've got about 12,000 Chaos left, 20,000 Imperials. So it looks like the higher ground has paid off for the Imperials so far. We have got all our Death Corps as well coming up from the rear, the lower plateau. And that firepower is lending an excellent hand to this front line as Furies try to rip apart poor old Guardsmen here. They're finding bullets ripping through the wings. So it looks like then that the main Chaos force is over this side here. They are being outflanked ever so slightly. Whether this flank will be successful is another question. It does look like it's doing quite well. Again, it's got Space Marines in it. It's got Lehman Russ support. It's been an excellent addition to the repertoire here of the Imperial defense. They are really trying to take the fight to the enemy. The Chaos have found this little weird tendril to try and get up here that the Imperials have tried also to defend. Yeah, that's weird. Look at that front line. It is so brutal. The bodies just sliding down of Imperials and Chaos alike. Oh, that is grim. That is really grim. But I do think, though, that the Imperials are starting to outflank the Chaos now. Chaos not able to get enough troops into this area. Caught in a bit of a crossfire as well from the Death Corps. With Marines on the front line, it has been a damn tall order for the Chaos to actually win from this point. 2,000 remaining. Yeah, look, even they didn't even manage to clear up the flank over here. Them Imperial tanks just raining down death into the lines constantly. Really paid a toll for them. Now, little Timmy, unfortunately, I haven't seen that many blood lakes. So, unfortunately, it's just a we did not say that. A rubber dinghy match. Yeah, look, nothing deep enough for the rubber dinghy. It's a rubber duck. That's what I was trying to say. Oh my god, my brain is just not working at the moment. So, unfortunately, poor little Timmy has not been satisfied in this round. Oh, I can't believe I accidentally said that. I might even just keep that in for the lols. Normally I'd edit stuff like that out, but you know what? It can be left in. If we can't please Timmy, we can also annoy the YouTube censors. But with that, ladies and gentlemen, it does look like this battle is coming to a close with an Imperial victory here. That was actually kind of close. Only 11,000 remaining here for the Imperials. But as always, ladies and gentlemen, I do hope you had a blast. I know I did. Please do comment, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. A massive shout out to all our channel members who help to keep this channel going. And if you're not a channel member, why the heck not? Click the join button below. While you're at it, go ahead and check out the Chaotic Pinky store. We got some amazingly cool merch on there. All that being said, as always, until next time, peace.